I have been playing Minecraft for much longer than I had believed possible. As I got ready to do this video, I was reminded that I started playing this game back in the days when Minecraft Beta first became available. My son set up a small server on which we and some of his friends played through all of the beta releases, and later on a fresh new server when Release 1.0 became available. Back in the beta days, I saw things that people were building and posting in videos on YouTube, such as a globe made out of blocks in Minecraft Planet Earth, a city made of TNT, Minecraft 100,000 TNT City, an early mob farm, Minecraft Zombie Arena, and megastructures in Minecraft, building Megaobjects in Minecraft. So I decided to build a large-scale Apple II. It was all done in survival mode. Creative mode did not reappear in the game officially until Beta 1.8 in September 2011. And in February 2011, I uploaded to YouTube the video of my Minecraft Apple II Plus, complete with 2 Disk 2 drives and a monitor screen showing the game brick out. At the time I thought it was pretty good. When I look back at it now, it is embarrassing how primitive it appears. However, considering the era in which I built it, where stone stairs were not even available in the game until Beta 1.8, it is really not too bad. I built this in Beta 1.4 where you could still place ladders on every other block vertically and they would work. I also noticed that the lighting in the game in those days was still pretty dark. That summer at Kansas Fest 2011, I did a session in which I showed off this Apple II, but beforehand I had gone back and replaced all of the gray stone blocks with sandstone blocks, which were more true to the actual color of the Apple II. Beyond that, I did not do anything new with the project for a very long time. As time passed, everyone else in our little group faded away from playing, but I continued to enjoy the fun and challenge of mining and building intermittently. I held on to the world files for that original server, as well as the newer server on which we had played up through 1.6.4. And on my own, still playing survival, I decided to do the Apple II again, but to do it better. In 2014, I dug sand and created sandstone blocks. Hundreds and hundreds of sandstone blocks. I picked a new area on our server where no one had been before, leveled off the land, and ultimately built myself an Apple IIe at a much higher scale than the first one. By the way, while I was doing this, I only jumped into creative mode to build my transporters to take me to and from various parts of this private server, including the old beta world, which I had pasted onto our Release 1.0 world for old time's sake. My beta world Apple II was done at a scale of 2 blocks per inch. This one I built at a scale of 4 blocks per inch, which looks much better. As you can see, this shows much improved detail over the old one made out of stone. It has a keyboard that looks much more like a keyboard you'd see on an Apple II, and it is identifiable as one from an Apple IIe. But I decided that the computer alone wasn't enough and I needed a modem, so I added an Apple modem 1200, and because it needed a modem needs a telephone, I put the telephone, my old trusty blue AT&T touchtone phone, up on top of it. Up inside here I did not put any detail inside this, and it appears to be infested with villagers. But there's the phone with its touchtone buttons and my best effort at making a coiled cord on the side. Like my previous build, I tried to do my best to recreate the inside of the computer, but didn't get the job done. I got so far as to including a motherboard, which is here, and I got an extended 80 column card plugged in. I have slots ready for cards, and I have a power supply. I also appear to have a villager infestation on this thing as well. I don't know if that affects performance or not. the back, there are the openings for slots, the attachments for the cassette and the monitor, as well as the joystick plug. Outside, I included a more detailed wall socket for the Apple II with places to plug in more accessories, but at this time only the modem and the computer needed power. This also had the phone line for the modem to plug in. And then I got tired of this build, by myself on my own server, and set the project aside. I played a couple of other games in my spare time, and then played Minecraft on the Hat Films server, eventually playing on their very entertaining Skyblock server. During 2015, the Hat Films server underwent changes, and ultimately the old server was shut down, and with it my wonderful Skyblock island. I had, however, taken a lot of screenshots of it and some video, and using that in the early part of 2017 I started recreating my Skyblock island. This time, however, since it was a replica and not a true Skyblock, I decided to do it in creative mode. After completing that, I turned my attention back to the Apple II. I decided to complete the project, this time not limiting myself to survival, but doing it in creative, in order to get it done and not get bogged down in the process of obtaining all the blocks through survival. And now, I present the Apple IIe system complete. Let's start off on the inside. I've changed the base plate so it's closer to the proper color. I have the circuit board properly populated with chips for the Apple IIe. I have a DuoDisc controller plugged into slot 6 with a cable running out the back. I have a Super Serial card in slot 2. And another one in slot 1, both with cables running out the back. And I also have the extended 80 column card populated with chips. Over here with the power supply, I have the cable running into the circuit board to power it. There's a speaker with a cable to plug it into the circuit board, and a ribbon cable for the keyboard running to the keyboard encoder board. My villager infestation seems to have resolved. Out the back, the electrical outlet is completely filled up. It has 4 things plugged into it, including the modem and the phone line from the modem. I have a disk cable plugged into the back to the disk controller, and printer and modem cables plugged into the back also. And then over here, I have the video cable plugged in, as well as a joystick connected. Now let's come around to the front. And here you can see a DuoDisc drive with a monitor 2 on top of it. I'm going to come down to the joystick here and press the left button. And it loads up some low-res style graphics to the screen. There is a Minecraft desert scene. Here's the Nether. And an end city. A scene of an underwater temple with the Guardian. A shopping list for supper. A scary scene of a creeper at night. The mobs to fight. and Minecraft Steve with the chicken. And since we're dealing with an Apple II, we have the cover of the March 2017 issue of Juiced.GS magazine. I also have an old magazine, 2 copies of Nibble, lying on the ground over here. Extra points to anyone who can identify which issues these are. There's a box of floppy disks, 3M style, as well as one on the ground. And over here is an ImageWriter 1 printer with fan-fold perforated paper, and is printing a print shop style banner with the name Minecraft on it, of course. On the desktop, there's a can of Diet Pepsi to drink and a pack of peppermint extra gum to chew. And since we're working on programming with this IIe, I've got my 1970s stereo system. With all the money I spent on this computer system, I wouldn't have been able to afford an upgrade to the stereo, right? It has a turntable and records underneath, the cassette deck, and stereo receiver underneath it with a couple of cassettes lying on the ground. Up on top of the bookcase are 2 speakers, and also on top are 2 important books, My History of the Apple II and Assembly Lines, the complete book for 6502 programming. So here's the overview of the entire setup. As I said, most of this was made in creative mode, other than the Apple IIe, modem, and telephone. Thank you for watching, and as everyone says on YouTube, I'd appreciate a like and share of this video.